Hey guys, my name is Seniac and oh my god, the train's disappeared again. Hold on. And welcome back to another episode of Transport Fever 2, where we are continuing to build the biggest and the best transportation company Australia has ever seen. What you are witnessing right there is our first high-speed rail train, which currently connects up the western side of Australia, or the southwest over here, within Perth and all these other towns that are connected via a train line. Picks people up in Perth, takes them all the way down this high-speed rail to over to the east side, which ends in Mildura, which is also connected up to all a bunch of little towns and stuff around it by train lines, to create our cross-country high-speed rail. Now, there is a lot of things still that we need to improve. We need to make it better, need to make it a lot more efficient, but we have just done a feat of engineering which is absolutely crazy. Now, we are transporting quite a few people. There's 88 people already waiting, and the train's still yet to come back. We're not far off, boys, being able... Hold on. There we go. That train is only one away from being full now on the way back. We're not far off via having 2 trains on this line, which is really, really exciting. Now, we need to take it a step further. What are we going to be doing today? Well, I want to invest some money in replacing all of my vehicle lines, train lines, with the new modern version of them. We've still got a lot of steam trains currently on a lot of our train lines right now, which we need to upgrade, make them faster, more efficient, which means we make more money. I need to take the towns that don't have bus routes and give them bus routes, and we also need to think about expanding the route that ends in Wagga 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 through Canberra into Sydney all the way down to Newcastle to add even more towns and passengers to these lines to be transported by the high-speed rail. So what I will say, boys, if you are enjoying the series, smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you're new around here so you get notified when more episodes do come out. Now, what we'll do is we'll first sort out the bus routes on the 3 remaining towns that don't have the bus routes that are technically connected to the train network. Then we'll upgrade some trains, and then we'll look towards expanding all the way down into Newcastle. So let's see if we can kind of start then with Adelaide. Now, going off what we did in the last episode and how I'm kind of working this, if I kind of pause it real quick right now, what I've been trying to do is to preempt the growth of a city, to kind of sort out some of the landscaping around it as well, to make it a lot more easier for them to grow, just so the city is a lot more accessible for people moving in and just for the generic growth in general anyway. So I'm just going to smooth in what I can, just kind of extend it and expand it, and we've got to build some kind of a funky little bus route that does go all the way around, which shouldn't be a problem. It should be pretty fun, to be honest with you. It should be pretty fun and pretty easy. So what we'll do is we'll take off all the ownership on the roads. I don't want nothing to do with that. Hopefully this road here with the fun of the bendy wendy. Hold on. There we go. We'll connect. It will get rid of that building, but it will grow back. I'm just trying to preempt where the city is going to grow. It'll be nice to get a connection in here. There we go. So we've got a nice little loop we can go around to pick people up and drop them off. We just want to make sure as many of the people living in this town can get to the train station as easy as possible, thus creating more transport networks. Right, so building-wise, we want the bus and tram stop, and we'll make it go this way. So we'll have a stop just there, and we'll have a stop just here. I know these are pretty close, but it's to give us the coverage around this area. Stop then just up to here, which will then go for a stop this way. We'll then add a stop in just here, down to there. So it's about just maximizing the coverage. We're then going to go down this way, which will go down to here is completely fine, which will then go back in this direction, which this will be an important one to give us great coverage. Now, what I've done there is I've maximized the reach of the bus stops. It might not be the most efficient. It might not be the best way to go around, but it gives us the most amount of coverage when it comes to the radius of where the passengers reaches to. None of that sentence even sounded remotely English, because it's Australian. Good day, mate. I'm just joking. I'm not going to go down that road. But you can kind of see how this now works. So maximum coverage, not the most efficient, but it gives us the most amount of coverage. So this is Adelaide bus. I think I spelt that right. And it's actually quite a big and decent town, so I might have to buy 2 buses for it. There is a vehicle or road depot just over here, so they're going to have to kind of come from a little bit of distance, but that's not a problem for those guys. And we'll give us the highest coverage. We'll go for these 2. Buy 2. There we go. Throw this on our current Adelaide bus. Beautiful. Beautiful. So give them time to get over there, and we'll quickly just sort these 2 towns out. We'll start with Albury next, which, annoyingly, it's tried to build in this grid format, and I've completely forgotten about the point where I had buildings on this side to connect over to it. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to delete all the hard work that these guys have tried to do. Oh, I feel bad. I do feel bad, but let's be honest, I don't feel that bad. Right, all 3 of them buildings for the train station to connect. That will bend in, which is perfectly fine. And I'm sure we'll get some crissy crosses. Well, we actually do need some crissy crossies. Thinking about it. Is it... I could just kind of go across here as a crissy crossy. I could connect you in to go down to there. Which I could bend this around. Bringing that up. And then we'll connect you in. Or not. Is it really a bad... Well, okay. It's actually quite a big slope. Right. We've got the crossing there. We'll leave it like that. We'll leave it like that, boys. Okay, we'll leave it like that. Don't want to get too carried away. So... Right, that gives us connections. We do have a lot of traffic leading down to here. So I'm wondering if there's ways in which we can kind of... that's the reason I don't want to go all the way around here. I'm wondering if I can kind of shortcut this route. Because we have a lot of traffic issues coming through Melbourne into Albury. So I'm just wondering if there's ways in which... That's a 31. That's kind of like a highway road, but... I'm going to bring this out, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to bend it in. As an alternative connection coming up this way. I don't know how handy it will be for anybody. And in reality, it would be nice to bring this down. Can that go under? I like the idea. Well, I'm getting completely sidetracked here, by the way. But I like the idea of being able to kind of switch under the train line for those guys to connect up and over. Weird, yes, I know, but I kind of like the idea of that. Anyway, completely sidetracked. Utterly and completely sidetracked right now. We're going to get the buildings down for the road. There we go. And we'll start here. So we'll go down and I'm going to have to think about getting a connection in there because I'm going to come back this way. Through there. There. And then obviously we'll have one just here, and that gives us the coverage. So not a huge amount of coverage we're going to get here, but it will work. Bright pink, you can see the line. Simple. That's all it needs to be, is simple. So Albury, or meant to call it Albury bus. Albury bus. There we go. And where's the closest vehicle depot to it? Okay, we're going to have to build a new one over here to make it a little bit easier for us. So I'll implement the vehicle depot just underneath the arches. And I just want one bus for Albury. I bought 2, but we can use the other one for Wagga 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 Wagga. Albury bus? Albury bus? I have a second Albury bus? Where's the second Albury bus? Huh? Albury bus? Where are you? In Albany. Oh, sorry. It doesn't say Albury bus. Right, ignore me. I literally just got confused with Albury and Albany. Right, don't want to talk about it. What an idiot. What an actual idiot right now. Anywho, right, let's get back to sorting out Wagga 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 out. Right, bring this right down. Is there room for a connection? Or is it here? What is the height differentials? They're not that bad. It's not bad, it's just there's a real height difference. So if I get rid of that one and then maybe brought this one through, not going to work. Brought this one through, there's a signal in the way. Brought this one through, that would work. Right, bring you down to there. Bring you right across to here. And I'm going to utilize this as the connecting road. And then delete this one. Right, we'll then bring this. Are you okay? Can you not go forward? Right to there. And then I'll run this. Straight. That straight. Very good, very good. And there's a big height differential there, so we have to delete you back by one, delete you back. And then see what we can do to kind of bend this in. That's what I mean, boys. You got to preempt a whole little area. Too much of a slope? Really? Well, I'm doing that to kind of give us a little bit of a bypassing route for the town. And I reckon the rest of it will be okay. But it's got to, like, obviously, where it does look absolutely ridiculous, you're just smoothing it all out to make the terrain come to a certain level. That way the buildings will build and the land will be semi-flat, or as flat as you can kind of literally make it. To make it kind of feel semi-normal. Last thing I want to do is this road down to here. And I think I'm going to be okay. Yeah. Right, so let's quickly sort this town out then. And then finally we're done and we can then leave it all alone. So I'm actually going to connect from this side. So going down here. I'll have a connection over there. I'll do a connection here. Now that reaches all the way over there. So we can bring a connection down to there, down to there, down to there. And that kind of sorts all out. It gives us the maximum coverage. Right, all the way around. And you can kind of then see from the little pink line. Works perfect. 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 So this is the Wagga 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 bus. There we go. And we've got a bus already here for it, which we'll place on it. Nice. Right, okay. So our existing towns that are on the existing train routes now all have the buses. So we can rest easy in the process and thoughts knowing that we've now connected more people up to the line. That is absolutely glorious. So what I want to do now then is just quickly go over some of my existing routes and where I can improve them and upgrade the trains to them, because we're still running steam on a lot of them. Now, is this one of the ones that we're running steam on? It is. So if we take the crude oil, right, and we're going to replace these. So the rate is the rate is 568. So we're going to replace these vehicles or trains. And I'm not going to go electric yet. We'll go with diesel. And we got a couple of diesel options. I might just go for the Series 246. And they have 11 carriages, which is... I'm not sure what it actually carries, but we do have new oil containers we can utilize. So we can each give them the capacity of 200, which will give us a 600 limit once they've kind of worked the rest of it out, which has ridiculously increased the rate. A lot of people complain to me, Seniac, you've got to match the rate. Yeah, but when you then upgrade the train, it increases the rate. You know what I mean? Can't rely on it all, okay, boys? Can't rely on it all. And then we got to pick up the crude oil from over... No, not crude oil, sorry. Refined oil. And... Right, well... replace this one train. So diesel, you, cargo. We'll give this a 200 capacity as well. There we go, there we go, there we go, which has increased the rate dramatically. There we go. So they might start producing more, they might not, but they can definitely carry more in general, which is wonderful. Right. A lot of chaos going on over here right now, so I reckon we should kind of break it down step by step. So managing the vehicles, make this... Actually, no, but let's view it by this. This is easier, right? So a lot of lines making money, a lot of lines losing money. We'll get onto those later. So Melbourne Wood. Let's view this line first, which is managing the vehicles or manage the line. So what the Melbourne Wood does is picks up from... I mean, it would help if I was in Melbourne. It would, wouldn't it? So what it does is it picks up the wood from over here, drops it off over to there for the plank kind of a sawmill, picks up the wood there, and then brings it back for the plank one down here. Now, if I manage these vehicles... Actually, let me edit one of them. It carries 208. That's all we need to know. So replace these bad boys with the diesel train, a 246. Cargo, flat card with side stakes. There we go. So 208 was its capacity. I could do a 2... What's the line? I mean, the capacity is way above the rate anyway. So I might just give it a 200 capacity. It will be a lot quicker. That's the difference. So that will give us an 800 capacity. There we go. Which slightly adjusts the rate, but it is what it is. That's perfect. That then really upgrades that line. What else we got on the go? So Melbourne Wood. We've got Mildura Ore, which are these lines right now. Again, we're going to edit these. So these are 208 capacity altogether. So diesel, cargo. Make these a 240 capacity. No. 260? 300. How does it change the rate? Oh, it shoots the rate up, which I love. Absolutely love. And I'll do the same for the coal variation of it as well. Why am I managing the station? I gotta manage the vehicles. So replace these with diesel. Cargo. Rapidly increase it to 300. There we go. Right, it's a lot we're doing. It is a lot we're doing, a lot we're going to take in, and there's a lot still more we've got to go, so I can only do it in stages. So Mount Isa crude oil, which is this line here, from there down to there. There's 2 trains on it, which have a 210 capacity by the looks of it. We're going to replace these. Now, these are slightly new-ish trains, but they're still steam. And then we're going to add a... 300. It's free. I feel like 300 is mental, but I'm going to do it anyway. 1,000 rate. I mean, don't get confused with the rate. It's the annual through station, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so sweet. We'll do a few more trains. It's hard to keep track of what we've done and what we haven't got done, so we'll do a couple. We'll come back and do a few more. So I'm mainly just going for the ones that earn us the most money, upgrading them to be a lot better. So the Mackay oil is another one right now, which is this line here, from there all the way up to Mackay. So manage this. Has a 180 capacity. So we'll make this a 240. There we go. It brings more to it as well. And we'll do a couple more right now. So looking at what's not a diesel train. So this is the steel route right now. This is for the... Oh, the Esperance steel, which is all the way over here now, isn't it? Yeah. It's a long route, that. It is a long route. And I don't know if we ever have enough steel on there. So I think changing what we change here right now might be a little bit of an issue. I think we'll have to also upgrade how much these trains can also carry. So, Esperance, coal, and ore. Let me find these vehicle routes right now. Let me come off that. So, Esperance, where are you? Have I gone past you? I feel like I have. Coal and ore. Select both of these. Edit them. Now, apart from being diesel, more pulling power, they have a capacity. They actually have quite a high capacity. So I'm going to make it even bigger. No, that's ridiculous. I'll just put a 400 capacity on it. Oh, dear God. But we need to carry it in bulk. Because this never has enough. It just never does have enough. So we'll see how long that lasts. Well, that's going to get 400 by the time that train gets back. So I think 400 is probably about right. So the steel route then. Let me manage these 2 trains and replace them. Diesel, cargo, and we need the flat car with side stakes. Yep. So it's I've got a 120 capacity. I'm going to give them a 200 capacity each. There we go. So we'll see what happens. It'll take a while for this new variation, this new cycle to go through. With the amount of additional goods we're going to get delivered. Right. Let's see what else we can do. The Portland fuel. That's all coming from up here, isn't it? Right, we'll leave those for now and just see what happens with the new trains and how much of a new dent we can kind of put into stuff. Yeah, baby. So now this is the difficult task. Is getting from Wagga Wagga connected to Canberra, Sydney, and Newcastle as well. That's going to be difficult because look at the terrain. The terrain is wild. It really is. So I did say I'm probably going to, because obviously it's coming off an elevated section here, we're going to elevate this up to a ground station here. It does go through a tunnel there, which is even crazier. And then into a tunnel and then popping out to an elevated station to Sydney, elevated station to Newcastle. So the whole line is determined on what I do here in Canberra right now. So like many things, I'm going to have to delete it to make it better. So if I delete all that, and I need to chop a big chunk of this. Now, I don't know whether I'm probably going to need to get rid of the tunnel. Because that's probably the level that I need the train station to be on. Oh, hello. Because I needed to hit into a tunnel and go underground. So I don't think this is going to be a particularly long station. So passenger. This is going to be so difficult right now. So passenger-wise, and we are going to have to throw a little bit of cargo on here as well. So I don't think we're going to do too well. It might be a case of we're probably better off it being elevated. But elevated, you can't have a cargo station on. So it kind of it does have to be passenger. Now, if I bring this on this side, where's the hill the most hilliest? It has to be on this side because of the connection. So if I bring that to about there, right, we might have to change this road slightly as well. It's all doable, but this one station here determines everything. Oh, good God. Why have I don't know why it defaults to the worst stuff. High speed, please. Not like it needs to be high speed anyway, but I like it to be at least some decent stuff on board. Now, we'll do I do one more set? What's going on here, boys? What's going on there right there? Hold on. Has that sorted it? Right, platforms. Is it the building? Or is there something going on here? I don't quite know, but there's the cargo side of it anyway. Okay, there's the cargo side. Platforms. Passenger running all the way down. Very good, very good, very good. And we then need to do the miscellaneous. The underpass, which goes there. There's one there already. And it all then gets determined on what happens here. So, am I able, with the train tracks, to going straight, bridge this up? I can bridge it up, which is handy for me. We also need to do the correct spacing of the pillars, which that works perfect. There we go. We glitched the system then for a second. Oh, don't do this. What do you mean it's not possible, game? I've now got to delete it because of that crisscross has completely messed me up. It's like it was okay until it wasn't okay. Right. How small can I make the crisscross? There. Okay, perfect. Right, as difficult as that was, we got through it. But the rest of this is going to be a right challenge. So I ultimately want that to connect into there. So that's how the bend is going to take place. Now, if I put the pillars down, the pillar collision thing comes into play. I can space it out like that, and apparently that's okay. I want some pillars for it to look semi-normal. I don't want the thing looking like it's floating. All right, confirm to there. Oh, it looks crazy, doesn't it? And I love it. Right, run this in. There we go. Crisscross hopefully here. Or not. There we go. So that length is done. This is when it gets ridiculous. Now, thinking about it, right, I'm not going to be able to implement the cargo. Solely down to the fact that we can't have an elevated cargo platform. So how am I going to do it here is the real question. So also, do I have an elevated platform here and then here? Because Newcastle and Sydney are so close, could I combine a Sydney train line and Newcastle there with another Newcastle one here? Sydney one there, sorry. And where are we going to be pumping out the vehicles from? I don't know. This is going to be where it gets very, very difficult right now. So, right, let's see what I can do here. This is purely going to be trial and error. It's purely going to be trial and error. And we also need to figure out the heights as well that we're doing it. Because if I don't get the heights right, it just ain't going to work. Now, if I implement that about here... Again, this is all trial and error. I don't know whether this is going to be the right way to go about doing it or not. And then tracks... Oh, the bridge pillar again. Oh, wait, that's not elevated tracks. That's why. Right, we'll see how far we can go. Because we need that bypassing route for the trains skedoodling through. So this is what I mean by we haven't got an elevated cargo platform. But you can bring the cargo in different ways. So it's, like I said, not the end of the world. Right, that's going to go in here as a tunnel. And then hopefully with the length of this, what this is, it will eventually elevate to the level I need it to. So if I can make this go down, the problem is I need it to go down a lot. And I'm not going to get it with this road. So that road's got to go for a second. Right, the tunnel can begin there. Right, and then we'll merge these in real quick. Right, we'll come back and fix all the road layouts anyway. So, you know, everything looks kind of okay. Now, if I was to drag a road directly to the station, I'm very curious to see where it runs. Now, this is where the issues might lie. Because you've got to do a lot of... We might have to oof this little section here off. I'm saying this is so difficult with the landscape that we've got to work with. Alright, that's the snap, which we're kind of going into. Now, somehow we've got to make these now meet. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Because the elevation change is wild. I can't express how wild the elevation change actually is. So I've got to get it from here to there. Now, I'm definitely going down, but I don't know how down I'm going. So I don't know whether it's better I kind of... just try and naturally build. Nothing pops out here. So we'll go to there as high as we can. And then here. I think you just all I had to do is just guide it away from this little drop of cliff edge, and I think we were okay. Holy moly, is this ridiculous or what? Right, all the way down. To there, and we're connected in. So it goes underground there and pops up back there. Oh, it's so cool. It is so cool. But still, I've got to get this connected to the ground as well. So I've got to find the right buildings to utilize. For my road connections. Because none of those actually are going to work. That works as a connection on that side. There's a connection just there. One there. One there, but you can also increase them by doing that, but doesn't make much of a difference for us. I'm trying to see. Where I can benefit over other areas. Because it does get real difficult. Could be a case of I just straight up implement one there. And then just pull the world's smallest road out. Wait, too much of a... Oh, it really is a slope, isn't it? No wonder it's not working. No wonder that's not trying to work. I don't know if I'll be able to get it to work now with that such a height difference. I could put a building like that which connects to it, which is a very, very non-realistic. But it kind of works anyway. It does what it needs to do. We'll leave it as that. Right, next buildings. This is even crazier now. So we're up to there, which I can see it needing to kind of go through another cliff edge. So if I built that here, right, I know it looks a bit funky, but bear with me again. Now, this is going to be an end platform unless I make it go all the way up to there, which I very much doubt I will. So I'm just going to make this an end platform. So elevated platforms. We'll have to make cargo do something completely different in the future. Elevated passenger buildings, squeeze in where we can. That works there. That works there as a connection. That works there. That works there. So that gives us actually pretty good coverage. Now the idea is it's going to cut through and probably go into some type of a tunnel leading this way. But let's just see where the train tracks naturally put themselves so we can kind of see what needs to be deleted. That road there, but I reckon it's weird how it wants to be a on the ground on that bit. Right, bring it to there. So that should run with us. No. Now, like I said before, it's not perfect. But for now, I can always adjust it in the future. For now, it's going to do exactly what I need it to do. And that's all I need it to do right now. As long as it connects, I won't complain. Yet. So believe it or not, we have a train line that now connects all the way down to Newcastle. Now, granted, we can only bring passengers down here. No cargo. Only cargo up to Canberra. I do need to configure the rest of the Canberra train station. Which I need now normal passenger buildings. And do I add the odd one or two extra on? I don't think I've got anything small enough to be squeezed on it. Unless I do like miscellaneous stuff. But again, we're going to bring buses to it anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Alright, bringing this across. And maybe down. Yeah. Can't get that going across right now because it just won't work as a bridge. Or will it? Yeah, I might be able to here. I mean, it would help if I aligned it correctly. That would also help. Change the bridge to one that's got like large spacing. Would that be too high for a connection now? Unless I do it this way. Ooh. I have no idea how I managed to get that in. I'm not even going to lie to you. I've got no idea. But not much has now changed. Which means the line that comes into Wagga 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 Wagga. I still can't say it properly, can I? Now needs to be changed. Wagga Wagga is now going to become a wrong station. I'm now going to, which is line 1, which I refuse to name it because of this. So it gets to the Wagga Wagga halt for Mildura. It's then going to go up to Canberra, Sydney, Newcastle, back down to Sydney, back down to Canberra, back to, make sure I get the right one, Wagga Wagga, before going down to Mildura, to then go all the way to Adelaide, and then back again. Yeah, baby. Which I can now actually rename this. Adelaide to Newcastle. It's finally got a name. And I just got to quickly sort out the signals. So you're that way. Bam, bam, bam. I gotta flip the platforms and lines that they're currently on. Bam. Bam, bam. And you're there. You're there. Right, manage that line. So it's okay in Mildura, right? It gets to this point. Yeah. And then it gets to Wagga Wagga over here. And it needs to... It does crisscross there, which shows me it's got to be on the opposite side. And it gets to Canberra, which should be on the opposite side. Gets into Sydney, which is on the correct side. Newcastle doesn't matter. This going back, going to be on that side. Coming down, you're okay there. And then Wagga Wagga the second time, number 1. Done, mate. Nailed it. So that line is now a lot longer. So it could mean that we need another train on it. But the other side of it is, I've got to change the train in general anyway. So rather than adding 2 trains on, I think what I'll do first is add the 1 train on. Just make it bigger. So I'll give it a 198 capacity and just see how we get on with it. Now, I will need to add bus routes for all those little towns right now. There's 3 additional towns, but I'm not going to do it right now. We're going to see how they first get on. So we'll have a fast forward. We'll let it unravel the chaos that's now about to ensue with these towns now being connected. It's not pretty, but it's connected. That's the main point we're going to take away from this, okay? So I think in the meantime then, we'll look towards doing and upgrading some of the other trains. Now, the Rockhampton crude oil, which is going back and forth here. We'll now manage this. We'll replace the vehicle. Review and cargo-wise had a 240 capacity. We'll give it a 300 capacity now. There we go, there we go. Replace. So a lot bigger capacity with 1 less carriage on board. Nice. Keep running through it then. So I'm just kind of going down until I see a line that doesn't quite have the diesel train on. So Portland fuel. So this actually what's coming from over here again? It's Adelaide, Albury, Melbourne, and Portland. Try and remember those, okay? I'm going to try and remember those right now. So Adelaide, Albury, Melbourne, and Portland. Portland fuel. So we're going to replace each one of these right now with a diesel train, and they got 5 carriages is what they had before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which you give them 100 capacity over what they originally had, which these carries 15. So it's an extra 25 capacity. Not much more, but every little helps. Every little helps, boys. We're slowly getting through it. Right, we're starting to see... Oh, the train's actually there as well, picking people up. We're starting to see people actually now wanting to be picked up. See people walking down. Oh, I've got to smooth this off, haven't I? Let me quickly pause. You kind of forget when you do a lot of landscape changes, you got to smoothen it back after. Try making it reasonable for the area to grow again. Right. What else can we change price? Oh, Newcastle planks. So Newcastle planks just simply goes back and forth here. We'll manage this right now, and we'll replace it. Diesel, cargo, the flat car side stakes. 130 capacity is what it had. We'll give it a 200. See how we get on with that. And any other lines that are quite close by. Rockhampton plastic. How much does it have here on the side? Oh, quite a lot. So we're going to manage this vehicle now. And cargo. What gets carried in plastic? Is it the box cars? Yes. So it had a 65 capacity. We'll give it a 160 capacity. So it's an extra 100 it can carry each time. That will do me, boys. That will do me. And then we've got the Rockhampton oil, which that train has literally just left the line, the station. Which will edit this. Diesel, bam, cargo. It had 8 before. I want 20 capacity. We'll give it a 300 capacity. So we can carry a lot more oil over. Right. Very good, very good. So we've got the perf planks. Perf planks. Oh, it's all the way over here now, boys. So I don't think I've actually edited this line much. It just literally picks up the planks here and drops them off over there. Does okay-ish on the monies. How much wood is currently here? Not a lot. So let's kind of go backwards first and do the perf wood. So this picks up the wood here and drops it off there. That's literally all it does. Let's sort this vehicle out first. So diesel, cargo-wise, we'll give it a 200 capacity. There we go. Which then means this line will then have a lot more wood. So perf blanks. We'll replace this. So that was carrying 140 before. 143. Oh, hang on, I'm adding the wrong ones on. We're going to give it 200 capacity as well. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's the same capacity as here to here when this takes 2. But the distance back and forth there is so short with the distance there and there. So I could do almost 3 journeys by the time that gets back. So that will kind of work out for us. Now, we've got the food line going back and forth here, which is 1 train. How much does it pick up? Oh, no, I'm looking at the grain side of it, aren't I? Does the grain side not do much, or is it just because of the food side of it? I'll upgrade the grains. Oh, there's actually 2 trains on here. I'm actually going to get rid of one. So let me sell the one. Replace this one then. You need more customers on the end of it. So if I kind of get this sorted first, the rest of it should then follow. If I give it a 200 capacity. Right, a lot of bulking up I've done right now. A lot of bulking up. But there's still going to be a lot of lines that still have steam trains on. So Mildura Steel 2. Where's this one? This is all the way over here, isn't it? Which is, oh, the longer line. Yeah, we're going to manage this vehicle and replace it real quick. And we're going to add, it's got a 91 capacity. We'll give this a 200 capacity. Right, lot of upgrades now. Lot of upgrades. So, how is the finances of it? The finances are ridiculous for this train. It's getting full. It'll be full again on the way back. Where is it now? Where is that high-speed train right now? Oh, wow, it's only just left Mildura and there's like over 100 people waiting currently. Let me see if I can make this train any better. So the problem with this train is you can't just give it like the most expensive of the most expensive, because you're basing everything off the speed. Now, passenger side of it, the fastest carriage is this one here at 124. And the fastest diesel, which there isn't one because we're using the electric one. So I've already got the fastest electric all involved for the high-speed rail. So I might just then duplicate it and put a second one on the line. Because it's only going to get more busier right now as the cities are growing. And we have more cities connected to the high-speed train line now. So you might as well just add that additional one now in. Exciting stuff, boys. Really exciting stuff. So any high-looking trains that are steam? Melbourne Tools. So we're going to manage this right now. We're going to replace you with diesel. Now, with this, obviously does come the issue with the fact that they now are more expensive to run, but they should be a lot faster, and over time you should make more money quicker. We have also upgraded the capacity of them as well, so that kind of also does go in. We are accounting for that as well. Wagga Wagga Tools. Replace this puppy. Diesel. Cargo. Give it 100 capacity as well. And we'll just see how we get on with it. It's going to be real interesting. It's going to be real interesting to see how we get on with it. New ferry coming in right now. Albury Goods. Which does travel quite some distance. We're going to replace this right now with the diesel. Cargo. We'll give it 100 capacity. See how we get on with all of that. Now, I've based all the new vehicles, the new trains on these lines, based on the ones that are making profit, obviously. We're still going to have quite a few towards the bottom that are not diesel or anything like that, that are still steam. And we'll eventually get to those. We will eventually get to those. This Wagga Wagga Bricks is losing a lot of money. Are we just not producing enough bricks at this moment in time? Honestly, I don't think we are. I don't think this can carry enough bricks. Unless we just need to kind of get this leveling up. It's a 1-to-1. Just might need more customers on it, or just bring in more stone in general. So, it doesn't feel like we've done much in the sense of expansions, because all we've really done is connect up with 3 new towns. But we've had a bunch of towns have new bus routes, and we've transformed almost our entire fleet. We've still got a few lines that we do need to upgrade from Steam, but what we've done right now is a vast improvement. We might need a second train on this line eventually. I'm just going through how busy everything currently now is. I don't think we're that far off it by having a second train. The finances on it have all of a sudden just skyrocketed because it can now start carrying more people, which is absolutely amazing. The finances on this are going to go even higher as well. Now we get the second train on the go, but so will the expenses. I'm really excited to see how this is now going. So the one thing with adding all these new trains in and increasing a lot of the capacities does mean that we now start to earn more in income. Not profit, because we also do increase the expenses. But have we broken any new one? Ignore the losses. I've spent a lot of money on investments. But yes, we've had a new record year in income at 450. Previously, it was 287 and 266. Let's just say 287. Since this episode, we've started to shoot it all up with a 450 million in income. Could we push $500 million this year? I don't know. The year's going to end pretty soon anyway. But there's a lot more trains we still need to technically upgrade. Now, upgrading them does mean that we kind of like mess around with the inputs and stuff like that. We got a nice chunky load of ore coming in, but we're missing a lot of coal right now. But the coal train is about to not arrive. Where's the coal train? There's a coal train, baby. There's a coal train. Which we've now just leveled up the steel plant. How's the machines doing over here right now? Are we still producing quite a bit? No, but then again, how many places do need machines? Is it just Mildura at the minute? Oh, Canberra would need machines. That's another town we can get on it. That will help us out. So, not the end of the world. Not the end of the world, boys. It's very, very exciting. Oh, that year did end. 474 million. We are so close to pushing a $500 million income year. And we made nearly 100. Wow, 2009, nearly $250 million. We made in profit. Holy smokes, this is going to fund future expansions. We'll end it here, boys. Hope you did enjoy it. And next episode, we'll go back to the expansions. Now we've upgraded a lot of our vehicles. We'll keep an eye on the high-speed train as well, and we'll kind of try and start giving the West Coast all of their goods as well, to really expand the cities over on this side, as well as connecting up further the rail lines and public transport in all different directions. Hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did, smash that like button down below. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. So goodbye.